All right. Hi, everyone. I'm going live here with a wonderful coach, Jessica Pratt, and we're going to talk about all things when it comes to worthiness and wealth in love and money, business, because of course they're very much intertwined, all interconnected. And so, Jessica, if you wouldn't mind, can you share with us and introduce yourself, share with us what you do?
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm so excited to be doing this live with Morgan. She's amazing. If you don't know her, I'm sure she's going to introduce herself after this too. But yeah, my name is Jessica Pratt, and I am an intuitive business coach. And my modality is silent counseling. And I know that that's not something that's really common out there a whole lot, but it's essentially nervous system regulation. And it's called silent counseling because you don't necessarily have to dig into all the emotional trauma and hardships of the issue that you're bringing to the table. And a lot of those issues are surrounded around fear, anxiety, and stress. So I really do like to hone in on anxiety and stress. And then we sort of peel back the layers of that and get to the actual root of that stress. And that's what we just sort of evaporate out of your entire mind, body, and soul. And that's really where my soul's work is. It's so heart led for me. And that's why my intuitiveness really does lend so well to that. And I absolutely love helping women building up their businesses as well. So it really all ties in for me. And it's so juicy for me to dig in with the ladies that I work with.
Jessica, that's so fabulous. And it totally does tie in because there's so many things that are behind the scenes when we're creating our businesses that you're picking up on that we might not necessarily see, right? And so it's like, you're picking up intuitively maybe what beliefs or energies are behind certain things, certain behaviors and certain outcomes, right?
Yes.
So yeah, you do amazing work in that area. And for those of you who are new to me, I know that this is going to be on Jessica's profile as well. My name is Morgan Danielle. I'm a relationship coach. I help women break the toxic relationship cycle and ultimately create the most epic love affairs of their life. And so Jessica and I were chatting, and we thought that it would be just such an epic training for both of our audiences to be able to talk about how not enoughness shows up in business and in relationships. And again, they're so correlated. And so, this is both of our areas of expertise. And we both have obviously experienced things in our past that has led us to this work when we've not felt that we were worthy or not enough, right? So, Jessica, I would love for you to share with us a little bit about like what you see, like how you see not enoughness coming up in the women that you work with, how it impacts their businesses and all the things when it comes to the work that you do with them.
Yeah, absolutely. So I like what you said before, how it's just, when you're having a conversation with someone, especially a client who's coming to you to actually do the work, right? Someone who's ready to do that work.
Mhm.
Even just having a 3-minute conversation with them, I'm able to pick up on what those fears are and what those gosh, just the issues that they're stuck on in their heads, even if they're not saying it out loud. It's so obvious to me. It's like a glaring like it's like a glaring red ball above their head that like has this little flasher on, and they're just not seeing it.
Yeah.
And the same thing happens to me. We can't always see those issues in ourselves. Sometimes we have to have someone outside the box to take a look in. And but it also helps when they have a heart to look at those things, right? I don't like
Yeah.
taking advantage of people. I don't like telling someone they have a problem when they don't. I
Yeah.
really do have that ability to truly listen and listen deeper and read between the lines of what they're saying to me as well.
Yeah.
Um, but I do think that unworthiness, it always comes back to a fear base. And I actually have like all of my case studies here, right? So I did about 30 case studies when I was doing my training for silent counseling. And I just want to like run through these. A fear of confrontation. We got to the root of that with this person and we released it from her body. That's essentially what I do in a silent counseling session. Um, this person came with the issue of releasing the hold on her past self, wanting to step into her new self. And again, that's a fear. That's a fear of wanting to be someone new and do things differently than you're used to doing them. A lack of trust in their self, a lack of faith in self, a lack of confidence, overthinking, a lack of motivation. And this is a reoccurring theme. This is in 30 different women, all of them
Yeah.
have those exact same issues. So there's no denying that every person has these issues, whether or not they're aware of it and whether or not they can vocalize that. So I think the magic of having those conversations and having those really intimate, private moments with people and being able to pull that out and doing it in a gentle way
Yeah.
that they understand you're just trying to help them too. It's not, they shouldn't be fearful of getting rid of that, right? And I make them feel comfortable enough that they're just like, okay, I'm ready to let this go.
Yeah, that absolutely makes sense because when we are stepping into our next level or we're letting go of essentially coping mechanisms, right? So the fear of failure, the fear of confrontation, all of those things that it keeps us safe, right? That fear essentially keeps us safe. It's like, well, if I can avoid this, then I won't experience it like I have in the past. And so when we are working on releasing that, and when you're working on releasing that with your clients, it's like, of course, there is that. First of all, a lot of the times we can't see all of our patterns or our blind spots because I like to say, like, you can't see the label from inside the jar. And like, this goes for everybody. Like, I have mentors, I have coaches, I have people in my corner that can point my shit out to me. And so having that for you to be able to see that and do that for your clients is really amazing. And then, of course, they have that fear of letting go of who they've been so that they can step into who they want to be, because of course there's that comfort level of comfort, right, where
Right.
I've always been like this, I've always, this is the me that I know, this is the pain that I know, right?
Right. And I know that lends well too, like shifting that back to what you do, because it's not only helping yourself. Of course, you should always be number one, no matter what type of relationships you have, whether you have kids or not, or parents you're taking care of, no matter what other outside relationships, your relationship with yourself should come first.
Oh yeah.
But that just, it spreads that love and healing to everyone around you and radiates and attracts that same thing in others. And I think that's so beautiful that you and I both help people rewrite their stories and how they
Yeah.
speak to themselves as well.
Mhm.
And then just to see how beautifully all their other relationships blossom because of that.
Isn't that like so incredible to see? It's like when I always say, like, our relationships with other people are just an extension of the relationship that we have with ourselves. And that also goes for business when it comes to like your relationship with your business is an extension of the relationship that you have with yourself. Would you say that that's true? Of the relationship
A
that you
thousand percent. Yeah. It's, and you're right. It's so beautiful to watch. It's like, it's hard for me to even find words for that, right? You can't, it's tough to put a price on that. It's tough to explain to people that, oh my gosh, why would you not want this? Why would not everyone
Yeah,
in your entire world want to do this? Um,
absolutely.
yeah. So I love that so much. And I think it's interesting. I actually have a question for you, kind
For
of
sure.
surrounding that same subject, right? Where I'm, because people can fall back into the same patterning if they don't keep doing that continuous healing work. You and I both are very aware that healing's not linear, it's never done. You always have to continuously work on these things. Um, I'm curious with your clients, um, why are women falling back into the same type of partners and relationships, and how can they shift that? Like
Ooh.
how they sort of attract the same type of people over and over again, that patterning that you see with people. I
Yeah.
know that I have that problem. I'm not going to call out what mine is at this moment. We can do that privately, but I know that's a theme with most women. So I'm curious what you think about that.
For sure. I actually was just on a call with somebody a little bit ago that was the same pattern that she saw herself with over and over again, a pattern of abandonment and betrayal. And so when we think about going back to the same types of partners over and over again, we can have some women are conscious that they're doing it and still find themselves in these toxic relationships, or they actually have no idea that that's even happening. And so I've been both. There was a point in my life where I had absolutely no idea that like that I had this pattern. It was like, yeah, I understood. I was like, I was very unconscious about it, but like it was like, yeah, I keep getting cheated on, or I keep, getting beat up by these guys, or I keep whatever. And I keep attracting emotionally unavailable men. And then I realized that that was actually a pattern. And even though I understood the pattern and I saw the pattern, it was something that I still didn't understand how to stop doing. And so it all comes back to our subconscious programming, right? And so we operate 95% to 99% by our subconscious mind, depending on how aware we are. And so our relationship blueprint was developed between like ages 0 and 10. And so that is stored within the subconscious. Our inner child is stored within the subconscious, and our subconscious will seek out people and experiences based on that. That mirror what we had gone through or how we had felt in childhood. And so we continuously go back to what's familiar, right? And so if it was familiar to you that maybe you weren't seen, you weren't heard, a parent left, or you were constantly judged or criticized. For myself, I grew up in like a really religious household. And so I constantly, we interpret things as kids, whether our parents mean to do it or not. We just interpret things a certain way. And so I always felt like I was judged and criticized, and I never got my emotional needs met. I felt like an embarrassment to my family. And so lo and behold, I would attract men who I felt like I was an embarrassment to. They would keep me a secret. They would judge me. They would criticize me. I was in multiple abusive relationships. And so we always tend to go back to what's familiar. And if we don't feel, it comes back to that worthiness wound. If we don't feel good enough, because what happens in childhood is like, if we didn't get the love that we desired to have or that we needed, then automatically our childhood brain is like, oh, that means I'm not good enough. That means that mom and dad didn't care about me, or whatever the case is, right? That's just how our child brain works, whether that's true or not. And so it all comes back to like, I'm not good enough to have a loving, consistent, emotionally available partner, or somebody who's going to treat me like a queen, somebody who's going to protect and provide me. It always comes back to I'm not good enough. If we really like peel back the layers, it all comes back to I'm not good enough. This is what I find familiar. And when we really start to recognize how incredible we are, how the qualities and the things that we bring to a relationship without having to overdo or overextend ourselves, like just our beautiful innate qualities, that really starts to change the game. Of course, we have to do some of the other building our self-esteem and our self-worth and our inner child healing. But what it really comes down to is like when you recognize how special your gifts and your traits and your characteristics are, and you really start to value that about yourself, and you're like, wow, I bring so much humor to a relationship, I am loyal, I'm supportive, I am good at having hard conversations, I'm understanding, like those are actually really beautiful qualities to have. And then they're like, wow, somebody would be so lucky to have this. Somebody would be so lucky to be in a relationship with somebody like me. And so it really comes back to like reconditioning our minds and truly believing that we are worthy of having what we want. And so when we think about business, how have you seen unworthiness come up with your clients? Like, how does it reflect in their revenue? How does it reflect in the clients that they attract? What does that look like for you?
Oh my gosh, so many different ways. I mean, it could be as simple as them not wanting to create content because they don't think it's good enough.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And if you don't put yourself out there, no one else is going to talk about you the way you're going to talk about you. If you're not going to promote your business, no one else is going to do it for you unless you're a multi-million dollar company hiring a marketing company, right?
Yeah.
Um So even that, I mean, I have even personal friends who necessarily aren't clients who will come to me and just be like, I am terrified to put this piece of content out there. Why? Explain to me why, Jess. um, so I even am that go-to person. And like you said, like most of our things and the way that we are do stem from childhood, whether we had a good one or not. You know, everyone has things from their childhood. That's just how our brains develop and how they work. But again, it's like once you start digging into that and peeling back that veil, you can't put that veil back, right?
Yeah.
So once people open their eyes to it and they're like, oh, wow, like this is tough, but I really want to dig into this because I want to be better, because I want to be able to, even if it lends well to just, I just want to be able to post on Facebook every day and not feel like a piece of like a piece of crap doing it,
Yeah.
or to not feel good enough doing it, or to not feel like no one's listening, no one likes this, it's not going to help anybody. You know, the likes, the vanity of it really don't matter. You're reaching someone.
Yeah.
Someone is always reading this and being like, wow, I wish I could be like her. Wow, I wish I could think like that.
Hmm.
Even just the reframing that you said, like to be able to talk to yourself kindly
Yeah.
is, it sounds so easy and it's really not.
Yeah.
um I just mentioned to you before we jumped on the live, I started a new job, and I'm like instantly taking this younger girl under my wing and sort of coaching her along the way. And the other day I heard her say something, she's like, oh no, I'm so dumb, I did this. And I was like, listen, don't you ever call yourself dumb. Please do not say that. Don't ever say that to yourself ever again. And I mean that with the most love, because she kind of looked at me like, excuse you? And I was like,
Yeah.
no, please. It's coming from a place of love, I promise.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's funny what you said about, again, linking things back to your childhood and subconsciousness. Um, I actually had someone come to me for a silent counseling treatment, and she wanted to sort of eradicate her urge to want to eat sugar. And I
Yeah.
know this is complete, this sounds so off base, but I promise it's coming back
Oh,
around.
it all links. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Um, so we were doing this session, right? We got deep into things, and stuff just started coming up for her. And she realized her urge to want to eat sweet things now was linked to with the death of her mother.
Wow.
And it was so beautiful to watch. It was
Yeah.
just like this unfolding right in front of me. And this is kind of where the intuitiveness for me comes in. And I just instantly link with people. I can instantly feel what they're feeling. The connectedness is so intimate, it's hard to describe to someone else what's happening during those sessions because it is so private and intimate. But to watch her just sort of unravel her thoughts in her brain and realize it was linked to her mother. Now, these are things that my clients figure out themselves. I'm not putting this idea into her mind. She's realizing it while I'm facilitating this session.
Yeah.
And that's what is even difficult for me sometimes to put into a short Facebook post and to put into copy, right? It's like unless someone watches it, it's even tough for me sometimes to do that.
Of
Um, but just linking it back to business as well, just to sort of come back full circle of what you asked me. You know, I've even done my own silent counseling treatments where I had to take out of my brain that successful people who make a lot of money are always assholes. That's something that like I grew up
I
with,
had to work on too.
right? Just stuck in my head. And you know, I have great parents. They're blue collar, hardworking people, but I've realized, and I've had to detach myself from that. You don't have to work hard and work your entire life away to
Yep.
be successful and happy and wealthy. To
Yeah.
me, being wealthy is so much more than money.
Agreed.
Um,
Yeah, because
right? And
you can have all the money, but you can also be burnt the fuck out, which I see a lot too.
yeah, and it's tough. And of course, everyone gets stressed out, and it's tough for me to watch someone have such a frantic life like that and working their life away and not really soaking up those moments in life that make you so happy, that make you want to be better and want to dig into those things so that you can be that beautiful person and so that you can attract all these amazing relationships in your life and
Yeah.
be a better wife and a mother, a better, you know, auntie, that's me, a better dog mom, whatever it may be. But digging into those things is absolutely essential to get to that point.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing when you're saying this is like there is so much to do with mindset. And I think that there's a couple different things for both of us here is like there's the mindset, there's the energetics, and there's the strategy, right? And when we're experiencing a problem, it's really not the problem. It's just a symptom to the actual problem, which tends to be these limiting beliefs, right? And so, just like for you, and I've experienced this as well, where we're having to decode these beliefs of like, okay, if I want to make more money, but I have this belief that rich people are assholes, then I'm never going to make the money. So I have to deconstruct that belief. I have to go back to where it originated from, and I have to start shifting that story. And then for relationships, it's the same thing. It's like all men are dicks. I always say, or all men are douchebags, or dating apps suck. I always tell my clients, like, we get what we expect to get, and whatever we're putting out there is exactly what we're going to get back. And so if we are putting that mindset out of all men are jerks, maybe they had a bad experience with their father or their brother or an early boyfriend or whatever it is, if they had that bad experience, then they're going to, whether they think it consciously or not, it's going to keep them from getting what they want. You can't resent money and get rich. You can't resent men and have an epic relationship, right? And so it all goes back to those beliefs that we hold of what we're capable of, what we're capable of attracting, how we think about that. And I've seen in just in coaching over the years is there's the mindset, the energetics, and the strategy, and whether people have they're doing all the mindset, but then they're not putting themselves in the strategy, and they're not doing the things, right, that they need to be doing. So they're like, yes, I'm becoming a millionaire, or yes, I am attracting the most epic love affair of my life, but then they don't put themselves in actual positions to do that. It's that fear of confrontation. It's that fear of failure. It's that fear of what if it doesn't work for me, right? Which all stems back to not enoughness, not
Yeah.
enoughness, right? So have you seen that as well with your clients, like when it comes to they're only focusing on the strategy, when you're like, okay, the strategy's, yes, that's important. However, these are the things that are actually clouding your ability to receive what you're wanting to see, to receive, right?
Yeah, I love that question and the way you framed it, because to me, you're right. It's not just mindset and doing the things that you obviously need to do in order to run a business, be visible, to get the clients, to get the sessions booked. Um, and it's much more than just reframing your story too, and rewriting the way that you say things and the way that you're thinking. To me, my sessions take that a step further, and we do dig into the subconscious where you're not even sure why you're doing things the way you are,
Mhm.
right? Like someone could, just like I said, like, I think people with money are assholes. Like obviously that, but there's something deeper there. And when I did my session with that, I found out exactly what that was. So again, I'm not going to go into those details of my session, but it gets so personal and intimate with each
Yeah.
person. It's really tough to put like a blanket statement out there because everyone is so individualized and unique in who they are. There's not a single other person on this planet who is exactly like you or has your life story or has had the relationships that you do. There's not a single other person walking this earth like it.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's something that you and I both can remind our clients of, is that your story and your path is so very unique.
Yeah.
And that's why we like to have that one-on-one time to
Mhm.
really dig in with this person and get to know them so, so well so that we can help them better as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, to me, it's not just, I mean, of course, mindset is huge, but to me, I feel like, ooh, I like to go just a little bit deeper
Yeah.
just because that's exactly who I am in my normal life anyway. Like, you know what, the surface is just not good
Same.
enough for me. We're gonna take it deeper.
Yep. 100%. Yeah, we need that. Obviously, the subconscious work is such a big piece of this because, like I said in the beginning, it's like if we're running 95% of our subconscious, like we can say affirmations all day long. And when I say mindset work, I don't just mean affirmations. It's more about like changing the way that you think
Yes.
on a regular basis, like becoming the type of person that you desire to be, right? So you're thinking like them, you're acting like them, you're talking like them. So yeah, I mean, the subconscious is such a big missing piece. I see a lot of women trying to change conscious problem or subconscious problems with just conscious action or conscious tools, right? So it's like, yeah, you can say affirmations, and I think affirmations are great. However, that's doing that alone is going to take you a very long time. That's probably why it's taken people years and years and years and years to
Right.
try to change their mindset, and they're still not where they want to be. It's not going to be the affirmations that's going to make the difference. It's going to be, yes, those are really helpful to be like, oh yeah, I can think this, but what are you thinking when you are presented with an issue? Are you thinking like the old self, the past self, or are you thinking like the person who has a successful business or has a successful relationship, right? Because we all have these subconscious beliefs that are driving all of that.
Yes.
So it is a lot, like, you know, it's more, when I say mindset work, it's so much more than just affirmations, and then having the energy to go along with it. Because when you tie that mindset and the energetics together, it will make any strategy work, right? Yes, the strategy
Yes.
matters. It's just we've got to get the mindset and the energy right to accelerate the strategy. And so that's what I see a lot of, like, you know, people are just missing little pieces of the puzzle, right?
Yes, I love that so much. This is why I adore you so much because you get right to that. You just like cut through the bullshit or,
Yeah.
those people who are like, oh no, I do mindset work. I know what I'm doing. But it's like, excuse
Yeah.
me, with love. No, you really don't though. Like, are you really?
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
those
for
people
sure.
who, yeah, those people who unfortunately are just like skeptics of just what we do in general and are, sort of trying to be that positive mindset, positive person, but I see right through those people. And I know you do too. And again, that's why I appreciate you so much. I think I can see that in your content and the things
Yeah.
that you say where you're just like, again, with love, calling people out on their stuff.
You have to.
Um,
You have to. And it's always with
yeah,
love. It's just like you can't, you know, co-sign somebody's bullshit. And, you know, I
right.
think there was a period in time, and probably still to an extent now, where people were doing like this toxic positivity where it's like, oh, you just think good thoughts, but in reality, like, you're totally spiritually bypassing all of your real emotions, right? And so like that positivity, like people will tell me, well, I'm journaling and I'm meditating every day, and you know, I'm doing self-care, but nothing's changed. And it's like I said, like it goes so much deeper than just, you know, journaling and meditating. It's like, okay, we have got to figure out what these beliefs are. We've got to figure out what actions you're taking. We got to figure out what you're doing day to day that has gotten you this result. And if we know what you're thinking and what you're feeling and what you're doing that's gotten you here, what are you going to have to think, do, and feel to get you here? And so, like I said, like, you know, a lot of people were in this toxic positivity era where it was just like, oh, you just be positive and love and light and all this shit. And I'm like, no, no, no. We need to dive deep into the shadows. You've got to feel all your feelings. You've got to go kind of through the shit a little bit to
Yeah.
come out on the other side. And because there was just a lot of people that were just like, yeah, love and light, but I am so stressed out and I am continuously, you know, taking back my toxic ex and all of the stuff. So, you know, it's so important that you and I are sharing that, you know, with our clients and being able to, you know, I love being called out. Like, when a coach calls me out and they're like, I'm just like, give it to me. Tell me exactly what I'm doing that I
Yeah.
should be doing. Like, I actually thrive on that. Of course, I'm gentle with my clients. You know, I'll ask them how they need me to say things. But I like the bluntness. I like somebody telling me like, this is what I see your patterns are, this is what you need to do to change it, or this is what you need to stop doing, because I'm like a go, go, go type of person. Like if I'm ready for my next level, tell me and I'll just do it. You know what I mean? Tell me what I need to do and I'll do it. Like I just sometimes, I can't see my own stuff. You can't see your own stuff. So it's important that we have people in our life to help us see our blind spots, to tell us when we are, we're tell us when we are not in alignment with what we say that we want, right? And not be enablers, right? Because we don't want somebody to just enable us to do what we've continued to do. Like that's not why you hire a coach. That's not why you hire somebody. You hire somebody to show you what you can't see and then help you take that action, right?
Absolutely. And I just, again, I know I've said this, I freaking adore you so much for that, for your just directness and like cutting through all that shit, because to me, that's what a true confident woman does. You
Yeah.
don't talk about it. You don't do all these flippant little things. You don't get into drama. You get cut right to the chase and get direct. And if people don't like it, they don't have to work with us. Like that's just it. I I'm sorry. I'm trying to look for the words here because I have always been just a very unapologetic, very confident woman in my life. And that's not to say that I'm the pretty one. I'm this, I'm that. I'm not that person either. I am like the
Yeah.
quiet, dark one in the corner. But when I get up and walk around, I am a confident woman when I do that. I don't necessarily need to be the center of attention in order to be that confident woman. Um, and I get a lot of shit in my life for that. I get a
Yeah.
lot of unwanted like jealousy and hate pushed at me. And it's really easy for me to just like knock it off because I am that confident in myself.
Damn, I
And
am jealous of you because I am very sensitive. And although I'm confident, I have not always been that way. And so the fact that like you are just like, okay, whatever, like I know myself and, I don't need to take this hate, like that's amazing. And, that is not everybody, but I think that's so cool that you have that.
well, I totally thought that was you. I mean, I'm sensitive too, but girl, you have it. You have it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like it all. Of course, we still all have these unworthiness wounds and some, oh my gosh, I keep getting these messages and I don't know if people can hear it, but it's driving me insane. Okay. I
I
think it's
can't
my
hear
daughter.
anything if that helps.
Okay, good. And like, so my daughter's 11, so like, of course, she's texting me like 50 things. Um, anyway, we all have these unworthiness wounds to a degree, and something that's actually kept me from growing as quickly as I've wanted to, is I have a fear of getting judged. I have a fear of somebody being really unhappy with the work we do together. And that's something that is that I continuously work on because as you get bigger, as you get more eyes on you, inevitably you're going to have people that don't like you, that are going to talk shit to you. And it's the same with relationships. Like you have to get really comfortable being seen, and I feel like I've really mastered that in my relationships. And so, in relationship, when you're so nervous about speaking your mind, you're so nervous about speaking your boundaries, your wants and your needs, because you're fearful of that getting rejected, you're fearful of retaliation, you're fearful of that, right? But it's knowing yourself and being so confident in, this is what I desire, this is who I am, and you can take it or leave it. And so yes, I'm scared, I have that fear, but I still do the shit anyway. I still speak my mind, I still show up every day, I still, tell people things that maybe they don't want to hear. I'm spicy with my content, but of course, like I still have that sensitivity or whatever. And so that goes to show, like, to the people that are wanting to have relationships but are scared of the rejection, scared to speak up for themselves, do it scared. You don't have to be this, fearless woman. You just have to do the shit scared, and then you build resilience, and then you build confidence. And so, I've really kind of become an expert at doing shit scared. So am I scared to do shit all the time? All the time. But it's just the doing of it and getting through it, right?
And I think that helps build up that confidence too, where
Oh
you're
yeah,
like, oh, I've been there, I've done that, I got this,
for
right?
sure.
Um, because yeah, building up that relationship within yourself. And I'm not saying that I'm not scared to do things. Trust me, I have my things too. But most of the time I'm just like, that's a you problem. I
Yeah.
don't I don't need to deal with this right now. Um
Yeah.
I do. I That confidence, I see others being intimidated by it. But I even still, when I see that happening, I still don't let it get to me. I still don't let it
Yeah.
change who I am.
Yeah, because you
Um,
know it's not really about you, it's about them, right?
right. That projection from other people is just so blaringly obvious to me after doing my own subconscious work and realizing that. And that's again why it lends so well to my other relationships to do this deep work,
Yeah.
because you can see that then and stop taking things so personally from others once you recognize those things. So it not only helps you learn yourself better, be better in your own relationships in your
Yeah.
own business, but it helps you sort of put this shield around you, just like, I am my full self. I'm so confident in who I am and what I'm doing and just living my life that you will never let those other people penetrate you anymore. And
Yeah.
that is like something that, to me, you can't put a price on that.
Oh, for sure. Like everything about that, like when you just know that you're worthy and you believe like I am good enough for me, then all the other noise, it just doesn't matter as much. The people that tell you that you're too this or you're too that or that they don't want to follow your boundaries, you're like, you know what? I deserve this. I deserve somebody who follows my boundaries. I deserve somebody who loves me properly. I deserve somebody. So it's like that confidence, that worthiness where you're just like, I am going to decide. Nobody else is going to decide whether I'm good enough. Nobody else is going to decide any of that. I'm going to decide that. And so that absolutely does build that level of confidence and you do get more resilient over time and it's just like any other muscle that you build. You're just building a muscle of worthiness and it's not by only doing the mindset work, it's doing the shit scared, it's doing the hard stuff. And that's how you build that confidence muscle and that resilience muscle. And then you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm so worthy of everything that I desire. I'm coming for everything that I desire, whether it's the millions
Yes.
and the man, whatever it is. Like, I'm fucking coming for it.
Yes, exactly. And again, and once you reach like that flow state in yourself, that's, I'm a lover of flow, of course, but once you reach that point and really build on all of that, just everything you were just saying, that lends so well to your business because then you're going to attract women who want to be like you. To me, that's like when I feel jealousy now, I'm like, ooh, I feel jealous. That means I want something that this woman has. That
Oh
means
yeah.
I want to be like her. So I no longer take jealousy as like, ooh, I'm feel jealous. It's like, ooh, something new to like learn and go figure out how to get for myself. It's not that
Yeah.
it doesn't make me jealous of that other woman anymore. It just makes me ambitious to figure it out myself or
Yeah.
to go to her and ask for help. And that's where, again, that sisterhood comes in. And I am the least competitive person on this planet. I could care less when I'm playing games, if it's Monopoly, cards, whatever. I could care less if I win or not. It really is about like the collaboration, the love and fun and the stories and just the we're a gaming family, right? So it comes out a lot. But it's more like about the fellowship of just
Yeah.
sitting there and having fun and having something to do with your hands, like while you're visiting. And,
Yeah.
I just having that competitiveness not penetrate me and not be inside of me, it helps with that sisterhood wound that a lot of women do have. And I do feel like a lot of them could be attracted to both of us because they see us being these amazing, confident women who have, clients and helping people. And I have had a lot of people sort of approach me that are scared to work on that.
Yeah.
And to me, I just like am openly loving arms, like, oh my gosh, please come into my world. I am not that competitive person. I just want to help lift you up too. And when you're just your confident full self out there, the people that it attracts into your world are, it's just, again, it's hard for me to put into words just how beautiful that is.
Yeah.
And you are going to find the most unique, special relationships with every person you meet when you do get into that flow state in your own head, in your own mind, in your whole world.
Yeah, 100%. It's like that. I feel the same way as you around like jealousy. I mean, there's been people that I have had to like snooze on my feed because I start to feel jealous. And I'm like, if I can't handle this right this second, I'm going to snooze them for now. And then I've actually gone back, unsnoozed them, and like started to be like, wow, I'm so happy for that person. I like that makes me desire what they desire and or what they have. And so it's really like I've allowed it to be more of an expander for me rather than like, oh, fuck that person, or like, whatever, like
Yeah.
they don't deserve that. It's like, okay, if they can feel worthy of it, I can also feel worthy of it. And so that's really just the universe showing me that it's possible for me, because I know that I've had people tell me that they get so triggered by me, and it's like, it's really just an opportunity for you to recognize that like I am an expander for what's possible for you. And when we can look at it like that, it's like if you're jealous of somebody that has what you want, you're blocking what you want. And so if you can be like, okay, how are they thinking, what are they doing, what are the actions that they're taking, how are they feeling, and if they can do that, then if I do that, then inevitably I can have that thing too. So, yeah, I think that's really powerful. And I don't want to rush off, but I do have to go pick up my daughter.
Yeah, of course.
But Jessica, this has been so fantastic. Like we have just dropped so many good nuggets for everyone. How can people work with you? How can they find you?
Yeah, you guys take a look at my profile and please go ahead and join my Facebook group. That's the best way to connect with me right now. I have all my contact information over there. You can always message me. I do have a pinned video of a little bit of silent counseling breathing treatments and not breathing treatments. Sorry, that sounds like I'm hooking you up to a breathing treatment. Um, some breathing exercises that will help reduce stress in under 10 minutes. It's amazing. That's pinned in my Facebook group. So go take a look at that, explore it, and let's talk. Yeah. Thank you so
Fantastic.
much.
Awesome. For anyone watching this that wants to reach out to Jessica, go ahead and reach out to her. Anybody who wants to reach out to me, depending if you're needing relationship stuff, business stuff, you know where to find both of us. Awesome. I hope you all have a fantastic day. And Jessica, it was so fun doing this with you.
Thank you so much. I love you lots. We'll talk.